Both of these
Yeah.
players are pretty even in terms of versing the matchup we've got going here for the PvT or the TVP, however you want to pronounce it. Currently spawning for Lethal Perfect up in the top left-hand position for Belshev Vestige is none other than Gold UX.
So,
And his opponent, the Blue Mighty Terran, for Team Elite is none other than 3-Step.
so what are your thoughts for PvT on this map?
On PvT,
Or TVP, both ways.
TVP. Well, from the Terran perspective, Reapers aren't the best, but they're essential because of how open how open I feel the map is. The locations for proxies both north and on the left-hand side of the map from the Terran's spawning position. There's a lot more harassment that can come out of this. Blink can be an okay build, but the cliff area isn't terribly wide enough. They can be abused so much, and when they need to abuse it, then they need to blink up into the natural, and then blink up into the main, and then if they want to get out, they got to blink down and walk all the way around, just gives Terran enough time to reposition and just kind of confront the blink after it gets scouted. We are going to see a Reaper build coming out of here from 3-Step, so I like that. It's good, it's safe, it's clean. If we see things like 2-stalk pressure with the Mothership Core and they don't address the issue with the Reaper, then the Reaper kind of just gets into the mineral line, and if controlled right, just cleans up like 5-6 probes. And the game evens out pretty well. And if 3-Step decides to like get a bunker at his ramp, then he'll be even safer. Like, the Protoss won't be able to just do anything to him really at all.
Yes, sir. And we're actually getting more and more results coming in right now. Graph has done a complete walkover of Renegades of Hell 4-0. I think I mentioned that earlier, but
Wow,
it's official
Team
now.
Gravity doing absolutely brilliant work right there. Fantastic to see.
Indeedy.
The one thing that confuses me is why my music isn't kicking in. And as I say that, we hear the good old sound and theme song of the Terran race. Good to be home, boys.
Well, we've got a Reaper coming out, man. Reapers, PvT. I don't play either of these races. I do cast a little bit though, but maybe I've missed it. Is this standard?
Yeah, this 12 racks, 12 gas is definitely pretty standard. I like how he's taken some of these guys out of gas and gone for the rack to follow up into the expansion, which is fine. Now, the Reaper's job here is just to 1, poke, 2, scout. Like, you can't commit with this at all. Now, there was a fast Stellar that come out of here from Gold UX, who's just now finished up his Mothership Core, and this Zealot is just to kind of hold off any kind of engineering bay blocks or anything stupid that the Terran player might decide to throw out to be, cheeky, kind of mid-aggression, delay the expansion, and kind of get ahead in one essence or another.
Absolutely. Now we do have actually a new team in chat right now that is asking about joining up. So I'm gonna direct him to Antonio, but getting him to add me on shaft@claneat.com. That's my real ID. Anyone can feel free to add me. I'm always interested in casting for teams, both privately and for the UASL. If you'd like to add me on Skype, that would also be a good way, because then I can just direct you to Antonio from there. That my shaft is, my Skype is going to be posted in chat as well.
So cheeky.
I don't know how I'm going to get my shaft in the chat. It's a little too small. I mean, the chat. I mean, that's only like 400 pixels there.
Probably better off just to stop before you say something you're going to regret. Now, you got a pretty decent follow-up here from Gold UX. He skipped the stalk completely, gone for the faster expansion, which is fine. At the same time, we've got the robotics facilities, good follow-up. He's seen the factory, so he knows what's up. There's a tech lab going down this factory, which makes it very interesting, but we do see a starport follow-up, so we might even see some Banshees in TVP.
Yeah, actually, dude, I just really like the changes we've seen from Banshees. We mentioned it earlier, it got a little bit of a buff, a little cheaper to get that cloak upgrade. Do you think we're going to see the cloak upgrade, or is it just going to be Banshees?
Oh no, we're definitely going to see some cloak, but I want to see how he follows this up, and I think we might see some mech. To change onto the reactor, he's either going to start getting some Hellions and do a double prong. No, Widow Mines. Okay, everything just seems to be swapping and doing whatever it feels like right now, so completely misread And I guess this is the power of being able to lift buildings and change around the diversity of Terran composition. So Stim, Widow Mines, you know, we see the Medivac coming out, so going to see a double mine drop into Bio.
There's a really interesting dynamic that you kind of brought up there, hinted at a little bit. Let's explore that, though, because early game, Terran gets a lot of versatility. You know, with add-ons, they can swap whatever buildings they want to whatever add-on they want to. But later on, it kind of gets hard to do tech switches at Terran. Could you explain that to us a little bit?
Yeah, well, tech switches generally come around through the army composition that you can pump out, but once Terran kind of commit upgrades to one tech path, it's really hard to diversify. You can't just start going, oh, well, you know, it's 14 minutes in the game, I'm just going to build 4 or 5 factories and just replace all the add-ons with the barracks that I've got here. It doesn't work like that. That's a huge amount of downtime. That's a massive amount of time that the Terran player is now.
Hold that thought. We've actually got a Medivac taking a lot of shots from a photon cannon. That is really going to hurt that double Widow Mine drop you were just talking about. And please get back to exactly what you were saying, because you were doing such a beautiful job.
Yeah, you just can't change up army compositions like that. If Terran had that ability, it would be fantastic. But it's just not feasible. When you're hitting mid-late game and you're lacking on upgrades and you don't have the kind of infrastructure to support specific army composition, it's harder for Terran to switch around. But definitely early mid-game, they can, I'd say at least to the 9-minute mark, you can throw little wonky timings at your opponent to throw them off and maybe get a lead, but it all follows generally into the bio. Very rarely do we see mech.
Stem, combat shields, +1 infantry. Definitely exactly what you're saying right there, my friend. Well, we actually have Colossi, or the potential for Colossi, just now finishing. There's the Colossi, there's the extended thermal lance. So, looks like Protoss knows exactly what you just said. This is going to be a very infantry-heavy follow-up or from the Terran, so he's already preemptively getting Colossi. Well, his opponent's preemptively getting Vikings as well.
Yeah,
so
this is such an early Viking.
Very standard. Well, yes, but very standard compositions. But yes, early timings. I don't know timings here, but very preemptive. I could tell that much.
Alright, so this Colossus is going to pop out probably a little bit late. There's going to be a lot of damage done to this Gateway army. The Nexus Overcharge just adding so much extra DPS and some diversity to the army. Colossus now does finish up, and the Vikings have taken, well, absolutely minimal damage at all. So still don't feel he has enough to engage into this army. The scan goes down, reveals the Colossus, and it looks like the Terran player is going to bug out, and wise choice at that. He's going to follow this up with some extra racks, going up to a total of 6 now. Third CC is about to finish as well, so it's pretty fantastic for our Terran player, who's now going on for his +1 armor. We do see the +1 level ground weapons underway as well, Twilight Cancel, so there's going to be a transition here for the Protoss player who's looking to play defensively in these stages while he's just getting his tech up. Good to see, and then he'll likely transition this into an expansion. So he's kind of doing a bit of everything. With the 6 gateways, he could even go into an all-in. But because of the Colossus timing, I don't think that's going to happen. Usually a 2-base Colossus timing should hit at 11 minutes 30 with 3 Colossi. Seems like he's a bit behind in that aspect, so I definitely think Gold UX just wants to hold on right now, get a bigger concave or a bigger group of units, and then just go for a mighty push.
You have to have units to buff for Colossi. Stalkers do a beautiful job, Zealots as well. Force Field's okay, but eventually you're going to run out of energy. But Colossi have a really interesting dynamic. I love bringing up nuances of, you know, each individual race, because Colossi can just step on shit, man, and it doesn't even kill your own units. It doesn't do damage to anything, really, but you think those spikes. Anyways, I digress. They have the ability to shuffle back and forth. They can move in, poke a little bit, but then go back if the high damage output of Marines, they also have really good range, start to harass them. Of course, they get their shields back up and do it all over again. Take a look at the ranges real quick. We actually have 5 range for Marines doing 7 damage. That does not constitute the attack speed that Marines already have, like 3/4 of a cycle, and then Stimpak reducing that even more. Well, Colossi have a range of 9, so that's almost double, but you can do a little bit of hugging with Marines if the Colossi are played sloppily.
Yeah,
anyways, third base down there for the Terran. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, we see some players learn to abuse things like the Colossus Splash, so that means when you come into a new engagement, you kind of split off small groups of units to run around the outside and kind of wrap around the Colossus. Like using things like Marauders to just soak up the DPS the Colossus dish out, which is interesting. Like Marine King Prime does this strategy a lot. He'll oftentimes skip out on the first initial Vikings and go up to like 6 medivacs, 2 of them get dedicated to drops, and the other medivacs just basically push, and he just relies on his micro and learning how to engage Protoss army, which is very unique. Oh my god, those Widow Mines at third just doing so much damage. Look how delayed this Protoss third is just because of that. And as a response, he's had to get Storm, he's getting Size ground weapons level 2, and the Terran player is just bottling up units. Currently a 20 supply lead for the Terran player, which is fantastic.
It really is, man. But even more important, I think, is the fact that he's got a lot more supply in army. He's got 7 more supply, but he's on biotech, so he's got a lot of barracks. He can continue to power, only he's supply block right now.
Yeah, the only issue he's really facing right now is, well, Protoss has Templar, he has Storm, and there's no Ghost on the field, so he can't actually engage in this. Protoss taking their third base finally. Terran's kind of just setting up small little infantry squads around the right-hand side of the map, left-hand side of the map, etc. to kind of get a gauge on when expansions are going down. Now, we do see a probe going out here on the left, and if this is to put down a proxy pylon, I thought it was to get an expansion, which would have been oh so nice to see Protoss just go, okay, well, you know, things are going to change, I've got to get my expansion just terribly behind at this stage. Take it like a fast fourth. It was kind of hidden. That would have been amazing, but that wasn't the reality. Probe does get taken down the left-hand side of the map. Terran just going back to reposition. Has power of the watchtower here, so he's technically on Protoss' side of the map, and being here just allows him to indirectly be aggressive.
Absolutely, man. Well, there are so many zealots right now, dude. Why?
Well, it could be a transition phase, because there's only
Buffer.
2 Colossus. Yeah, they definitely act as a fantastic buffer, but I'd imagine he would want to transition and charge on Archon as a bit of a byproduct of having his third delayed so much. It's a cheaper composition, he's getting a lot of gateways to help support this, and once his third goes up, and he holds off his attack, which is just a pure Marauder squad.
Gas, yeah, that'll help him with the gas. I see what you're saying. Okay, cool. I was just curious. I've kind of been kind of switching in and out with admin tasks. Sorry about that, but I'm fully into the game now. It's been a really interesting game so far. I've kind of been observing from afar, but dude, a little bit of an engagement here. Charge Light going ahead right on into the infantry armor. Oh wow, the Colossi doing lots of damage here. A little bit of kiting here, but there's not much places for a 3-step to run. This bio composition getting completely stomped out with the Side Storm, but the Colossi are now dead, and the Mortal taking a lot of damage. Looks like he will be able to go ahead and pick this off. Wow, really good upgrades here. 2-2 kicking in just in the nick of time.
Yeah, so this store goes down in full retreat. A bunch of zealots here. They do have speed, so they have an extra little bit, or they have an extra bit more durability. The Vikings do land now as there's no more Colossus, creating a nice little buffer between them and the Marines. Another big warping going in here, but he's just focus firing down the Nexus. And look how quickly this thing dies.
Manor-mules!
Oh, here comes a big Storm. Nice. Storm goes up there, missing a bunch of the bio units on the second Storm, but then there's just the GG, and Gold UX taps out 3-step, taking game number 3 here as for a nice lead for Team Elite.
Indeed, man. Wow. I actually thought the Protoss player had a chance there. Those Colossi were doing some great pokes, but just as soon as, you know, you kept saying it, man, that buffer. As soon as that buffer ceased to exist, snipe, and the tides changed.
Yeah, well, that's it. He just didn't have I think it actually came down to a micro mistake. Gold UX wasn't focus firing the biggest clumps of the Marines. There were some nice EMPs that went down from the Templar, but from the Ghost, and they hit Templar, but there were still Storms available. And then by that point, Terran had already fanned out into a concave. So when the Storms hit, they were only hitting so much.
Shoutouts to Cypher. He loves your accent. He says it's phenomenal.
I do try it. My mouth's actually getting like really dry and foamy, so I'm gonna go get a quick drink of water here. And yeah, that's right.
That sounds good. I'm gonna do that when you come back.
Toilets do flush backwards down here.
Absolutely. Well, I do want to go ahead and announce some more results real quick because I'm getting a lot coming in right now. Don't tell me I closed it. Did I close it? Yes, I closed it. Give me just a second, guys. There we go. There you are. Tails. Alrighty, it looks like CG takes a 4-1 victory over CF. That is Clarity Gaming. And Clarity Gaming actually lost their first match, and then does a complete 4-0 at that point. Well, 4-1. But CG Sterling loses a game to Rost. Then Elige takes a victory over Pumpernickel. Aiku takes a victory over Chicken Lips. Saravati takes a victory over Ham Sandwich. And Bales takes a victory over Immortality. So all those last 4 players were Clarity Gaming, taking victories over XCF. Just want to be completely clear there. And from here on out, I'm going to be taking care of some admin stuff. Give me just a moment. Sega going ahead using a substitution. Cool deal. They're substituting Noxer. Let me see who they're substituting him for. They are substituting him for Baby Sky.
Alright, we're back.
Welcome back. I missed your sexy accent, my friend. Alrighty, well, I'm finishing up that admin stuff, and I'm going to grab a soda myself. Looks like Seiya wants to substitute Noxer for Baby Sky.
GG's. Alright, so I'm kind of thinking about growing my beard. But at the same time, I'm kind of not thinking about growing my beard because it gets a little unmanageable, it gets itchy, you get pimples and shit. So I'm kind of wondering, I'm going to throw it to you guys, the audience. Should I grow my beard, because you guys seem to be obsessed with hair and things like Maynard's beard and his dreads? Or you might have seen Imber TV before, and that guy's got like that crazy beard going on, you know, with the hat and everything.
I'm going to go grab a soda, sir. I'll be right back.
Or is Malcolm, does the beard stay, or does the beard go?
Ow.
Choose wisely.
That's my toe! Ow!
Malcolm seems to have died, unfortunately. Toe, being the pinnacle of his power, has now been released into the heavens. And he now has to be resurrected by means of soda. I'm gonna get another pistachio because Nut's pretty mad. No pun intended. But seriously, salt and pepper pistachios? That's it, man. That's where it's at.
Okay, I'm back, and I do want to apologize, guys. This is the first night that I've actually been responsible for results. It was kind of an impromptu thing. I'm just trying to make sure I get all the information I need from the people I need, so I know I was a little bit distracted. That last game looks like all the clan wars are finishing up, but I'm fully back into this. My apologies completely. Thanks for tuning in. We've actually got a total view right now of 104, but that number's been fluctuating quite a bit, going up and down. So I'm pretty sure we've had, at least 500 or 600 different viewers over the course of this. So big shouts out to everybody coming in. Thanks for checking out the UASL, that's the Union of America StarCraft League. And it looks like we're going to be getting this map started up So it's going to be Noxer against Baby Wrath, and we're just deciding on a map.
Oh god, people love the beards. I shouldn't have said anything.
I'm beginning to get suspicious. You remember that Protoss female, Dust Saber or something like that? Dark Saber. Okay, someone said she was GM Grandmasters in Korea. And I think that is Ruslan Co. on Twitch. Ruslan Co's a troll. I think he's trolling us hard. You're a jerk, dude. I don't like you no more.
That's a shame.
Sure.
Noxer is next. Yes, Noxer is GM rank 1 in Korea. Yeah, I'm not gonna bite that. Ruslinko just kind of doing the whole this that. Oh, didn't play.
No. I love Ruslan Co though. He's my hero. I'd buy him a beer.
You know what? I think I'm gonna have a beer tonight. After this cast, I'm gonna do some streaming, and then I'm gonna go to gym, all that fun stuff, and then I'm gonna go to the Bodlow, and I'm gonna stock up for the rest of the night as I come back and probably do a bit of late night drunk session.
Actually, just for the great trolling, screw a beer. I'm gonna buy him a shot of whiskey. Well, we're still waiting to find out map, so bear with us just 1 second.
Map and.
So our score is 3-2 in.
You know, Team Elite could take this away, man. They're pretty close.
Match point. Actually, they did not give me their details.
Gundam Miss?
They did not end up adding me. Yes, Gundam Riss is actually Rustenko.
Ah, how you going, man?
Yes,
hey, Mom.
He's our troll, and he's the guy I'm buying whiskey.
Hey, Mom. MOM?
Okay, Whirlwind. Alright, thanks for that information, White Idra. Not sure if the guy's still here who was interested in joining the UASL, but if you didn't see it in chat, White Idra did go ahead and just throw up a Facebook link for you that will allow you to get in touch with everyone.
It's a video I have to find now.
Okay, let's get this hosted. You're a party leader, aren't you?
Yep.
Okie dokie.
Creators party. Work. Why you no work? Join this party? Okay. Hopefully this doesn't insta-start it, because that would be very annoying. Created this party. There we go. Alright. Year of the beard. Everyone loves beards for some reason.
I actually have a beard, bro. It's completely dreaded.
I couldn't do it, man. It's just not the maintenance. I don't have it in me. Even when my hair gets long enough, I just start going, yeah, I'm just gonna wear a hat or a beanie.
I
so
see.
We got Noxer. White versus...
Yeah, it's about 7 inches now.
Jeez, it's crazy, man.
Hey, British is here. Shout outs to Legion of 9 British. That's your new name, by the way, man. It's no longer Ninth Legion. Yes. And I guess we're missing... We got Noxer. Baby
Anyway,
Rat.
guys, if you do like what's going on, feel free to like my esports organization. It would really help us out a lot, especially over here in Australia, where we're trying to build up our likes and our fan base.
Dude, Southeast Asia, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, all that region, guys. Y'all have some of the best players out there. I mean, there's Ninth Legion Run Amok, there's Grims, there's Moonglade, just some of the biggest, Pig. I mean, some of the biggest names in East. Dude, yeah, some of the biggest names at esports come from that region. But you guys get some of the smallest amounts of credit. That is not fair.
Yeah, we've definitely been trying. I've been practicing a lot with some guys in Korea who are like high-end masters. You know, trying to get prepared for this weekend where I'll be playing in ACL. So hopefully
Did you
I do really well
invite
then.
Baby Raph?
Baby Raph. Right. Try this again.
Cool.
Alright, Noxa
Oh yeah,
AMK
keep talking about Ninth Legion. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah, well, obviously these players aren't all under the 9th Legion banner, but, you know, with Southeast Asia, we're just such a tight community, like, everyone knows everyone. And if you don't know anyone, it's pretty hard to know them really quickly. They'll come on all forums, especially like SC2C, they'll just make some kind of flame post, and next thing you know, it's just like everyone knows who you are. So, yeah, if any of you guys could like the Facebook page, that would be fantastic, and maybe with that kind of exposure, I might decide to grow my beard even more.
Shoutouts to Soulburn, because Tristan has a beard as well. Alrighty, players are ready. Let's go ahead and get this started.
LHF.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. If you're just, arriving, this is Shaft of the Clanny casting crew. Casting with me tonight is Josh Run Amok McMillan. And we are representing the Union of America's StarCraft 2 Team League. That's the UASL. Please check us out, facebook.com/UAS. Guess what that last letter is? L. You can check it out in the chat. There is an active link there, but it's the UAS League. Because I was just kidding. UASL League. UAS League. It's kind of confusing, but the link's there in chat. Facebook.com, UASLEAGUE. Yeah. Anyways, we're on Whirlwind, and it's a really, 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 really big map.
Especially for a TVT.
Especially for a TVT. Now, TVT is interesting right now because you're seeing a lot of mech styles, Hellbats, that sort of things. Hellbat drops are kind of cool. So I'm thinking this is going to be like a 45-minute game, lots of drops, huge amounts of action, great big contesting for the territory. If they cheese each other, I'm going to kill one of them.
I really hope we see an intense Marine tank battle because they're often the battles I like to see. I like to learn from them. It's very... What I read basically was after the 13 to 15 minute mark, it's all about late game decision making because by that point you should be set up. You should be on your 3 base economy, you should be powering ahead with all your racks and things like that, mules should be flying everywhere, but then you should start conserving mules and start burning scans for a better positional advantage, and now it's just about aggression, about to pick apart your opponent and how to maneuver your army and more micromanagement than anything. Yeah.
I absolutely agree, dude. And the cool thing about mirror matches is it's kind of whoever makes the first mistake that snowballs. Because you have exactly the same production as your opponent, the exactly same mechanics. You both have mules. There's not really a lot of ways you can get ahead because your opponent has exactly the same options you do. It's all about itty-bitty decisions that get you worlds and worlds ahead. So a lot of the time in these last few casts we've done, the last 3 or 4 nights, it's been itty-bitty mistakes like overextending your army, pushing too far up, letting your opponent's reinforcement advantage make too much of an impact in the game in these mirror matches that really decide them. I'm hoping these guys will not fall for that same kind of mindset.
What seems to be developing right now is going to have a tech lab coming down for Noxa. This is interesting development, especially on this kind of map.
Actually, did we announce the players?
Well, yes and no.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Oops, guys, sorry about that. Here in the top left-hand side of Whirlwind, we've got our pink Terran player playing for Team Lethal Perfect. It's Noxer NK. And here on the bottom left-hand side, playing the blue Terran player, representing the Confederacy, it's Team Elite Baby Raph. And he's getting a command center.
Yeah, a gasless CC into double gas follow-up. Pretty interesting. Stems to be quite nice. I'm not sure why he's getting the extra